Oh, hey there, traveler. Yes, it's me. I know. You probably wouldn't expect it, right? The mountainside musician and maestro in some small town, far from his home. And even more so, that we have this chance meeting in this quiet tavern. What brings you to this small town? Just passing through? I understand. Every time I see you, you're walking a new path. I admire it. You don't let the world tie you down. You keep moving. And that makes you amazing. Just promise me you'll rest at some point. I understand. But you don't have to move forward constantly, dear friend. Sometimes a short or even a long rest can reset us and remove the fatigue that silently builds over time. A single day is a small part of a month. A month is a small part of a year. And a year is a small part of your life. A day or few spent resting isn't something to worry about. It's something to enjoy. Not to take for granted, but to experience without regret. You know me. Always the philosophical one. It's kind of my shtick. Oh, well, I come here every year. If you can believe it. This small town was once my home. Yes, I was born here to parents that have since left for the cities, and to a farm that has since fallen into disrepair. I felt bad when I left. I left before my 14th, my abilities lending me early access to a good school. I haven't seen my parents since. I left them at a bad time, and they needed me most. It was a selfish move, even though I know from a few letters that they don't hold it against me. I still feel the guilt. I know. I don't dwell on it. I just always come back on this day when I visit every year. I keep myself bundled up in town so no one recognizes me, but I don't mind putting my hood down in the bar. None of the people that come here would know me, at least not well enough to pay attention. I know. Maybe they'd like to see me, but I carry a newfound status with me now. I'm not the same boy I once was. I don't want to disrupt their quiet life, even for a second. Especially with what I've learned recently. Do you remember when I told you about the Passionate King? The first king of Excelsium, over 2,000 years ago. The one I had dreams of. Indeed. I asked some of my friends that work around the royal court, and they were able to give me some confirmation. And the parallels are mounting. Call it coincidence or something more, but it seems like there's something happening. What I mean is, the passionate king, the first king of millennia ago, was born in a village that sat exactly where this town sits. The village fell many centuries ago, almost lost to history. And one day, this town was founded, but the legacy of this land remains. And it was exactly on this day, this cold day, one day after the winter solstice, all those years ago, that a young boy was born on a fledgling farm who would later become a passionate king. And it was 23 years ago, on this cold day after the solstice, that I was born on a fledgling farm, a child and young man who shares vivid visions of the passionate king's memories, a child who shares the passionate king's affinity for the long-forgotten magic. I don't know what it might mean. Succession, reincarnation, divine intervention, or just the most crazed series of coincidences in human history. But don't tell anyone. Please. I trust you. There has to be a reason why any of those first three would happen, and none would be good for the current dynasty. It would turn my life upside down, and it would probably affect a lot of people. I don't want to be a hero or king, my friend. I just want to be me. Because I enjoy helping people, and I enjoy the personal nature of my work. Whether I'm teaching, entertaining, rescuing, soothing, anything. It's with people I can talk to, people I can help. A king can help millions, but the final stroke of a pen can't possibly bring the emotions of seeing a smile on a person's face as joy returns to their life. It doesn't bring the rewarding feeling of having a personal connection. But that's just the obvious bit. A king is always fighting, even if power seems to be absolute. There's always trouble in the court. If you want that stroke of a pen to help the millions you hope to, you have to sacrifice much to achieve that goal. And that sacrifice might include just as many people's souls as the ones you're trying to save. That doesn't include the inevitable suffering that paves the road to power, even for a passionate king. And 2,000 years ago, he had to win a war to ascend the throne. I don't know what I plan to do. For now, at least, I want to stay silent. I have no reason to claim any mantle, and I don't want to be the spark that ignites the kingdom. I'll be honest. If history insists, if my destiny is to accept this path, then I won't reject it. For now, though, I'll ignore it. I have no reason to chase a path that hasn't been overtly ordained for me. My only question is, you know me. We've met a few times. Do you think it could be true? Do you think that I could be him? I guess that makes you the first believer. I can't imagine what it must be like to hear these things. But I can tell you, trust me. Well, I mean, a young man tells you he has visions of the past, is born on the same day, and in the same place as a legendary king. You don't immediately write him off. Well, I guess the magic prowess is a bit more of a tell. Well then, traveler. I ask you this. Would you mind sharing a drink with the Forgotten King on his birthday? Of course. To the 23rd year. Or the 2000 something.